ache.
Welcome back, guys, to another MLB The Show franchise mode here with the Chicago White Sox, and today we're at Wrigley playing against the Chicago Cubs. It's going to be Carlos Rodon versus Drew Smyly. If you guys remember from last season in this series, he started the All-Star game for the NL Central, or for the National League, I apologize. And Carlos Rodon, you can see his ERA 3.64. He's really brought that down. His second half, even really the second half of the first half, was really good for him. So he's back on track and he's looking to take out the Cubs today. Makata up to the bat. My first at bat with Adam Eaton didn't record, so we're going to show you the second at bat for the White Sox. Drew Smyly on the mound. He's pitched about 139 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 140 hits, so he's about a hit per inning. You guys could kind of see his stats before. The ERA is in the high 2s, so very good. As Adam Eaton grounded out to Anthony Rizzo at first on the first pitch he saw, and it was a quick first out. As Yoan Moncada is going to foul this one off to the left. You can see it is a full stadium today. Cubs usually coming and selling out the north side, but south side versus north side today, so a close call, definitely going in the favor of Yoan Moncada. Could have gone either way. That would have been a strike 3 call. You can see a little bit of that ball catching the plate above the knees, but regardless, it is 1-2 on the star second baseman for the Chicago White Sox, as that ball is going to be inside. You can see his fastball 91 miles per hour, so not overwhelming. Probably is a reason why his strikeouts are about 112 for 140 innings pitched. So here is the 2-2. That is going to be high. So Yoan Moncada working the count from 0-2 to a full count here at 3-2. Definitely that questionable call, which was probably the right call to make it a ball, but it could have gone either way. As Yoan Moncada is going to take a pitch right down the middle, and he's going to foul it off to the left. So count remains full at 3-2, making Drew Smyly work here in the first inning. As that one is hit deep, back to left field, and for whatever reason it looked like it was going a lot farther than that, and that is going to be a line out to left field. Carlos Rodon on the mound for the White Sox, making his 24th start of the season. He's 10-7. His ERA, he has really brought that down to mid-3s through 138 innings pitched. He's given up 140 hits, so about a hit per inning. The strikeouts are pretty good. The walks are pretty good. As he's going to be going against Javi Baez, 290 batting average, 18 homers, and 58 driven in this season. So it is time for the first pitch here in the bottom of the first inning. Still 0-0. Eloy Jimenez getting a base hit, and Matt Davison nearly hitting one out. Just shy there in center field. So score is 0-0 to start for the Cubs' first at bat, as that slider is going to be way outside for ball number 1. Carlos Rodon has kind of been moved back to that third starter position with the acquisition of Mr. Thor, otherwise known as Noah Syndergaard. But nevertheless, a great pitcher, Carlos Rodon, and the only lefty in the starting rotation for the White Sox. So that is something they maybe want to try to change next season, but there he goes. He gets his first strikeout of the night, striking out Javi Baez, who is no stranger to striking out, for the first out. Rafael Devers up to bat for the first time this night at 281 batting average. It is 1-0 Cubs. A triple by Ian Happ and then a wild pitch allowed him to come around the score. So now Devers gets his first taste of this White Sox-Cubs matchup, and he's going to go ahead and ground out to Rizzo at first for the first out. Addison Russell up to the plate for the Cubs here in the bottom of the third inning. Still 1-0 White Sox. White Sox had some opportunities. They got caught trying to get home on a single. Castro coming from second, trying to score, was thrown out, and then Adam Eaton thrown out, trying to steal second base. So definitely a lot not going the way the White Sox want it to be. Not getting the bounces, not getting the luck, as it is 2-0 count to Addie Russell. Carlos Rodon is going to get that fastball in there. It's going to be fouled off to the side, 2-1. Carlos Rodon has had pretty good control of his pitches so far, getting a lot of one-pitch, one-outs, as he will get this one to Devers for a quick second out here in the bottom of the third. Eloy Jimenez up to bat here in the top of the fourth. 3-0 Chicago Cubs. So White Sox down early in this one, down 1-0 in the first, and now down 3-0, but make that 3-1. Never mind. I don't know why, but those balls look like they're going so much farther than they were, as Eloy Jimenez flies out to left field. Chris Bryant up to bat here in the bottom of the fifth. 4-0 Cubs, with a runner on first, as that strike is going to get in there. 94 miles per hour. Nobody out. As you can see, Carlos Rodon at 70 pitches. So this might be his last inning. We'll see how far he gets through this one and how quickly, as it's a 1-1 count to Chris Bryant. That slider's going to stay away from the strike zone, moving the count to 2-1. They runner on first. Chris Bryant's going to swing at a very good slider right there, moving the count full at 2. And the 2-2 pitch, it's going to be fouled off to the side. Some lucky fan will not get it because it's going to bounce back into the field at about 90 miles per hour. Still 2-2. This one's going to be popped up to Matt Davidson at third base, as it continues to range out there into left field. You never really see a third baseman go all the way out there to catch a ball. But nevertheless, 1 out. Yolmer Sanchez to the plate here. He's pitch hitting for Carlos Rodon. It's 5-0 Cubs here in the sixth. Not a lot going right for the White Sox today, as Sanchez is going to hit that one right to Baez, who's going to make a nifty little play to get Yolmer, not Carlos. He changed his name. You can see Baez really sliding when he really didn't need to, but Baez is a bit of a hothead and a show-off, so getting the out here. Top of the 8th inning, Eloy Jimenez is up to bat. 5-2 Cubs. And the White Sox got a runner on first and second, nobody out, and a lot of speed on base with Adamina and Yohan Moncada. As Pedro Strop is in the pitch, this one's going to be hit right to left field. Not going to be far enough to advance a runner. So 1 out now here in the 8th. As Matt Davidson walks to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's got an opportunity to tie up the game. He's looking to do so here with 1 out, as that one's going to be a slider that's going to kind of hang over the plate. Met Matt Davidson in front of the ball, following it off 0-1, as that slider is going to stay low. 1-1 the count. Matt Davidson can change the game with the swing of the bat, and that's what he's trying to do right now. At least get on base, because you got a lot of speed on base, as that slider is going to stay up a little bit, moving the count to 1-2. Matt Davidson excels in these high-pressure situations, and he's trying to do so again tonight, as that one's going to be hit right to second base. Looks like a Taylor double play, and it is. The Cubs get out of the inning, get out of the jam, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-2 Cubs. Jason Hayward to the plate, as Frederick Gonzalez comes into this game. He's trying to hold the Cubs to a 3-run lead, as that fastball is going to be high for ball 1. Frederick Gonzalez continuing to do well in his rookie year, excelling with the White Sox, as that curveball is going to stay high, and that's going to be a 2-0 count. Jason Hayward once was a fantastic ball player, one of the best players in the game, and his batting just really has not been the same since he's kind of come over to the Cubs. We're usually batting in the 230s, but defensively he's still one of the best. As that fastball, he's going to knock a couple miles per hour off that, and Jason Hayward's going to be ahead of it. So a 2-2 count to Hayward, as that fastball is going to be way off of the zone, and that is going to move the count full to 3-2. Gonzalez really does not want to issue a leadoff walk, and he won't, because thankfully Hayward will swing at a slider way outside the zone to record the first out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tim Anderson up to bat as the White Sox are down to their final out. 5-2, top of the ninth, 2 outs. Just a lot going wrong today for the White Sox. Not much good news as Tim Anderson will knock this one into center field, getting a base runner on, bringing the tying run to the on-deck circle. So some 2-out rallies are always a good sign of resiliency in your club as Adolfo Castro comes to the plate. White Sox trying to get more players on base as that one's going to be fouled off. He's swinging at a pitch way outside the strike zone. Good speed on first, likely not moving as that fastball is going to be high. 1-1 the count. Cub fans very excited. Their team's 1 out away from taking the first game of the series against the Sox as Castro's going to take one right down the middle and put it into the crowd, but not where he wanted it. White Sox down to their last strike. And did he go? They did not, rules the first base umpire. A lot of very upset Cub fans here as the count is 2-2. He's going for second, and this one is going to be popped up to Javi Baez, and that is going to do it. The Cubs take this one today from the White Sox 5-2. Like I said before, just a lot went wrong for the White Sox. No luck, no breaks going for them. They all went the Cubs' way. A well-deserved win for the Chicago Cubs over their big rivals, the Chicago White Sox. You can see Drew Smyly getting the win. A solid performance by him this series opener. So, White Sox, they'll try to take some positives out of this game. Most likely just going to move on, try to forget as much as they can about it. And we are going to go ahead. We're not going to look at the highlights. We're just going to go ahead, get into the next game because this is going to be a 2-game episode. Welcome everybody to Camden Yards, otherwise known as Oriole Park here in Baltimore, as it is the White Sox versus the Baltimore Orioles. Or not Orioles, Orioles. A lot of mispronunciation, including that word right there. As we got Miguel Castro on the mound. He's never made a start this season. He's 0-1. His ERA is at 7.43. He's pitched 49 2/3 innings. He's given up 67 hits. The walks are at 19. The strikeouts at 47. So, White Sox looking to have a big day today as Adam Eaton walks to the plate, now batting .314 on the season. You can see it's raining here as the White Sox look to get a big day, as that one's going to be first pitch hitting Adam Eaton. So Castro out of the gate struggling with his command as he plunks the first batter he sees on the first pitch he throws. Blake Rutherford up to bat. He's batting .267 on the season, 12 dingers and 35 driven in, as it is 1-0 still. Baltimore here in the top of the second inning, 1 out. Castro not doing terrible too far ever since that leadoff plunking. He's done pretty well. I don't believe he's given up a hit yet. I'm pretty positive he hasn't yet. Manny Machado to the plate. He remained in Baltimore the biggest piece of this club, as it is 2-0 Orioles. I think I'm just going to keep calling them Oreos. I wish their jerseys were black and white, as that fastball is going to be high for ball 1. Runner on first, bottom of the third, 1 out. Some speed there represented on first, as that fastball is going to be taken off, and it's going to be a foul ball. Matt Harvey, the 1-1, is going to be a curveball outside of the zone, 2-1. White Sox playing pretty well. They're up 8 games in their division as runners taken off for second, but Machado's going to foul that one off. You can see the size difference. You can see how big of a guy Manny Machado is, just in height. As that ball is going to get behind the backstop, past Castro, and that's going to be a wild pitch and a full count. So runner's going to move to second, as Matt Harvey kind of has a little bit of some control issues to start here. But 3-2 to one of the best hitters and best third baseman / shortstops in the game, and he's going to foul that one off into the dugout. A lot of movement on Matt Harvey's pitches, and this one is hit way back. No doubt about it. Manny Machado going deep for a 2-run home run here in the bottom of the third. He gets his 27th on the year. His batting average isn't up there, but his power numbers surely are, as he's going to hit a 2-run bomb to right center field. And it is now 4-0 Baltimore. So not a great start from Matt Harvey, giving up 4 runs through his first 2 1/3 innings pitched. You can see this one being hammered to right center, making it 4-0. Rafael Devers up to the plate here in the top of the 4th, 7-0. Matt Harvey giving up a 3-run shot, and that is going to do it for Harvey in this ball game. He's given up 7 hits, 7 runs. Definitely not the start he wants for you guys to see in this series. He did well in his prior 2 starts, but this one not so much. He could blame the rain, he can blame whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, he's got to get the job done. As Castro, who has an ERA in the 7s, has been lights out against the Sox today. So 2-1 count to Devers, who's batting about .290 now for the White Sox, is going to foul this one off towards the camera well. And now 2 strikes, 2-2 to the White Sox first baseman. And that one's going to be hit way back, but fall. Right shape, but wrong size. There's the 2-2 again. That one's going to be driven into left field, but it's going to hang up for the left fielder for the 3rd out here in the 4th. White Sox trying to get some runs, but first they got to get some outs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Chris Davis to the plate. He's batting .223 on the season. He's got 18 home runs with 54 driven in, and it is 9-0 here in the 5th. Matt Harvey was brought out for 2 more batters, and he didn't get an out. So definitely not Matt Harvey's night, as he's been charged with 9 runs, as Chris Davis is going to whack this one way back. But thankfully for the White Sox, that's going to be foul. So 0-2, a loud strike, and that one's going to be inside on the hands for ball 1. Michael Nobles, having that high stamina, is probably going to go a few innings here, assuming he doesn't give up a ton of runs. And hopefully he doesn't let that long foul ball bother him, and he goes after Chris Davis and gets him out here. And he will. He's going to strike out Davis and record another strikeout to his first campaign here in 2019. Omar Narvaez up to bat. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's .271 on the season, so a good season for Omar. Trying to be the starting catcher when it comes time for playoffs, assuming the White Sox get in, as it's top of the 6th, still 9-0. And there's actually a pretty decent chance, if things stay the same, we might see a position player pitching in tonight's game. So that would be a first for me. Anytime I've ever watched any MLB series on anybody else's channel, I've never seen a position pitcher pitching. So that'll definitely be a lot of fun. And this one's going to be grounded to second base, thrown on over to first, and Castro records another out. Mark Trumbo up to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th, 9-1 Baltimore. Noble still in pitching, as he's going to get strike 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. I apologize. He's about to throw his 40th pitch, so he's definitely getting his work in for him today, as he's going up against a big power hitter. A lot of power hitters in this lineup for the Baltimore Orioles, but they don't have a lot of contact hitters, which is a big reason why they aren't as great of a team. But they're kicking our asses today, as this is going to be hit into left field for a leadoff hit. Malik Smith up to bat. He's 3 for 4. He started tonight off with a solo home run, and he's here in the bottom of the 8th. And I kind of realized, I took a look at it to have a position player pitch this inning, and I realized unless you're a National League team, you kind of can't, because you can't substitute a pitcher with a position player unless they're in the batting lineup. so the pitcher's position in the lineup. So unfortunately for the series, we're not going to have the fun of having a position player in, as this bunt's going to be grounded to Matt Davidson at third, to second, to first, and a double play. A good play by the White Sox. A little bit of positivity coming out of this not so positive game. You can see Nobles getting 2 outs, as Smith is going to tap that one to third. Davidson on one knee to second, to Moncada, to Devers at first. Around the horn, a double play. Matt Davidson to the plate. He's 0 for 3, and the White Sox are down to their last out here in Baltimore. Two very not so positive games for the White Sox in today's episode. Hopefully Matt Davidson can take this one deep. If not, it is what it is, as the White Sox look to be dropping this one to Baltimore 9-1. So White Sox have been playing well. Besides for these two games we played today, they've been playing well. So we have a lot to look forward to as we continue, and that one's going to be down the line, a base hit, as Matt Davidson's going to be going for 2, and he's going to get in there with a 2-out double here in the 9th. So he's getting a hit, his 11th of the year. He raises his batting average. So right now, it's all about getting in those personal milestones right now, which is a good idea, and I think we're going to go ahead and do a pitch hitter. So let's go ahead. Yolmer Sanchez has been great this year. He's batting .296. Let's get him in here. Let's get him in a bat. He's going to pitch hit for Devers. I know he doesn't play first. I don't expect the White Sox to score 8 runs with 2 outs here in the 9th. So we'll get him in a bat, as that one's going to be hit to Trumbo at first, and that is going to do it. White Sox drop this one in Baltimore. Buck Showalter's very happy as his club pulls out a win. Baltimore has not been doing well this year. I think they're 40-70 or something like that. So they're definitely out of the playoff race, but they had a good game in front of their fans tonight in a rainy night, as the Baltimore Orioles pick out a 9-1 win over the White Sox. A lot of improvement that the White Sox need to make after these last 2 games that you guys have seen. Some not so stellar pitching, and really not a lot of great offense. As we take a look at the final box score, 1-4-1 for the White Sox, 9-13-1 for Baltimore. Harvey gets his first loss of the season. He moves to 2-1. We're not going to take a look at the highlights. I don't want to expose you guys to that awfulness. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this episode. So definitely not what the White Sox wanted. 2 losses, one against their biggest rival, the Chicago Cubs, and one against the Baltimore Orioles. Not Orioles. I think it's just my Midwestern Chicago accent that I can't say that word. Or just me. But White Sox, nevertheless, are 7.5 up on the division over the Indians, who are 66-60. So they have been kind of flown around 500. As you can see, their last 10. White Sox 5-5 in their last 10. If you guys take a look at the schedule, we've now dropped the first 2 in Baltimore. We won 2 of 3 against Toronto, and we won only 1 against the Cubbies. So, a lot coming up as we are in August. It is almost time for September call-ups. I think we'll be playing the Yankees. If I do not have Trent and Troy recording with me in this next one, it'll probably be a doubleheader, a home and home with the Yankees, these 2 games. And then we'll probably be playing the last game at home against Minnesota and Detroit. And that's going to do it for these episodes. Hopefully by then we're in the playoffs, assuming we don't collapse. You know, we got September call-ups coming up, which is going to be pretty much the next episode. So a lot to stay in tune for as we march towards the playoffs. We get a lot of these players up. You can see Lucas Giolito looks like he was falling asleep there. I don't know if Kayla wants to zoom in on his face, but we are excited. There's a lot coming up with this series, but I thank you guys for hanging out with me, and we will see you next episode.